a new stream. The old one was not working, apparently. Looked like it was just kind of stuck in limbo. Had a couple people telling me that they were just getting a spinning wheel on it, so I tried a couple of things and I was getting the same thing when I tried to pull it up on my phone, so just decided to end that one and restart a new one, and it looks like it's working okay now, so fingers crossed. Needless to say, you didn't miss much. We've just been flying over the ocean the entire time, so we will continue doing that as we make our way toward Havana. Send and maintain 220, 6 Bravo Papa.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, did you copy?
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the live stream I just ended. It does look like it, yeah, it pretty much just ended where I think everybody said they started having the problems with it. Weird. Well, I have not been part of the live stream gang enough to know what the issue was there, or if there's a better way to fix it than just killing the old one and starting a new one. Obviously, with not that many people watching, I'm not concerned about someone being able to go back and find the new one, but I would like to avoid having to do that in the future. 2025, 6 Bravo Papa, good day. Havana Center, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is at flight level 280, descending to 220.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Havana Center. Continue to descend as planned.
If that ever happens again in the future, I would love to not have to kill the current stream and do that again. But it seems to have fixed it. Alrighty, cool. Yeah, because I didn't want to end it. We're not even kind of close to being done here. We're going to land here at Havana and then hop back over and plan the next leg of this little Caribbean island hopping trip we're doing here. I also do have a little pop-up green screen coming today. Right now I'm using the NVIDIA broadcast software to automatically take out the background behind me, and you can see right there that it's picking up some of the stuff behind me, like there's a desk back there. There, you can see it. So it's not perfect, but it can get a little distracting and annoying once in a while. So went ahead and just invested in a little pop-up green screen that should take care of that issue. But no, I love the look though when you can take out the background behind you, especially in a game like this where literally every square inch of the screen space is coveted because of the views and the stuff that you get from the simulator. So all right, we're continuing to come on down in the cockpit. 12,000. Descend and maintain 12,000. 6 Bravo Papa. I also should start using the flight level change button, because when I use the vertical speed and it picks up the previous vertical speed that I had put in, like I had 2,000 feet per minute on our last descent, it immediately picked that up as soon as I hit the button, and so it kind of drops the nose suddenly. I know if you use the flight level change button, it does everything a little more gradual, and it's making calculations based on your current speed and all that sort of thing, but I tend to like to use vertical speed because then I can control, you know, if it looks like I need to get down faster than what I'm going, I can quickly just dial that in, or if I need to flatten it out a little bit, I can do that the same way. But again, I know there's a sweet science to all that, and real pilots know how it works, but I'm not quite there yet, so right now we're just kind of doing what works. I think it's working okay. So I got about 8,000 more feet, so get a little more views here for a little while. To the Dutan waypoint here, and we'll make a little bit of a left turn before it eventually swings back a little bit to the right, and we land coming in on the north. So, like I said, we selected an Rnav Approach. I don't know. We're going to start a lot easier for me to show you what I'm looking at. Right back here, we coming up on Dutan, make our way here to PB 701, and then wrap up. I think right there, since that'll be our final into the airport, I think at that point I'll switch over to the Nav Mode and see if there is a localizer, if it'll pick it up or not. Obviously learned on the last flight, when I didn't put it into Nav Mode, it didn't automatically switch over like it does when you're on an ILS approach, so I think we'll do that, but right now we'll just let the GPS take us all the way to that wrap-up waypoint to where it puts us on the final, and then if we don't pick up a localizer or anything, we'll just hand fly it in like we did on the last one, so no big deal. I'm going to start going ahead and slowing us down, though. 295 knots. Descend and maintain 3,000. Expect RNAV runway 03 approach via PB 701 transition. Cleared to PB 701, 6 Bravo Papa. Probably should have just said Papa Bravo. Papa Bravo. Alright, slow us down to about 250 knots. We're going to go ahead and descend to 3,000. It sounds like PB 705, no, PB 701. Yeah, that's our next waypoint here. So in between it and Rab Up if there is a localizer, is where we should intercept that. So we'll see if that happens here. Go ahead and hold it here at 250 knots for a little bit.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa contact Havana approach on 120.3. Good day.
203, 6 Bravo Papa, good day. Havana approach, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is at 9,700, descending to 3,000.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Havana approach altimeter 29.93. Continue to PB 701 as planned.
Coming up on PB 701 here in just a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and run us down to 225 knots on the auto throttle, and then we will go ahead and punch in first notch of flaps here. Exit out that window. Land out that window. Quick peek outside as we come in over Cuba. Descending down, the runway should be off in that general direction right over there. Cool overhead shots. These are awesome. Wow. Pretty cool looking. Alright, hop back up to the cockpit because things will start happening fairly quickly here in a second. We're just about to PB 701. I'm going to go ahead and slow us down to 200 knots. We're still at 6,000 feet. We are not coming down as quickly as we probably should be. I'm going to go ahead and adjust that vertical speed, especially since they want us to come down to 2,000 feet now. Descend and maintain 2,000, 6 Bravo Papa. Go ahead and throw in second notch of flaps. Help us slow down a little bit. Might also throw in some speed brakes here in a second because we do need to get down quick. And that's going to clash with our current airspeed. So yeah, I'm going to pull up some spoilers here. Be a look out the window. You can see them coming up. They're there. Slow us down just a bit. Pull them up even more there. Alright, that's getting us down to our 200 knots. Now 3,000 feet, so we are continuing to come down. Now making that turn into Rnav. Go ahead and bring us down to about 185 knots. 175. Go ahead and bring those speed brakes off. 28.8, 6 Bravo Papa. Playa Baracoa Tower, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa is 11 miles south on the Rnav 07 approach.
Cessna November 316
Nav
Bravo
03.
Papa Tower.
Oops.
Altimeter 29.9 tree, wind 336 at 6. Cleared RNAV runway 03 approach.
Cleared Rnav 03 approach, 6 Bravo Papa. Alright. Go ahead and drop us down to about 150 knots. Put in the final notch of flaps. Gonna go ahead and drop the landing gear. And I'm gonna go ahead and move us into Nav Mode and see if we do pick up a localizer. Looks like we have a VOR. Now I'm curious, oh boy, here we go. Let me throw that into approach mode and see what that does. Nope, definitely made the wrong decision. Okay, well, we are going to passengers may be wondering what exactly is going on here. Now it is acting like it wants to pick up a localizer. Let's just see if this brings us back around somewhat close, and then I'll just take it. About 150 knots. No, it's got us too far left. Alright, I'm going to switch off the autopilot and go ahead and take it here, because we need to come around quite a bit. Not going to call off the missed approach just yet. We've got our speed low enough to where we still have a chance to recover here. Flaps are in, gears down, landing lights are on. Trying to get us somewhat back on the right path here. Just a little bit in the cockpit, there we go. Because I think we should be seeing the... Yeah, there's the runway. Alright, we need to start coming down some, because we were climbing. I was not paying attention to the altitude.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa wind 337 at 6.
It's our runway, our landing clearance.
Cleared to land runway 03.
Auto throttle is off. Cleared to land, runway 03, 6 Bravo Papa. This is going to be a fun one. Alright, I've meant idle throttle because we need to slow way down. We're way too high. I'm going to go ahead and extend the speed brakes to try and slow us down because I'm almost diving here to get us down where we need to be. So completely going over speed. I think we can pull this off. Yeah, we're able to go straight down here. And those speed brakes are holding us at 130, 140 knots. That's perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take them out, actually, because we're going to level off here. Still at idle throttle. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little extra here because we're still holding at 130. Pretty large trees down here at the end, so make sure not to clip the tops of those. And get lined up with the runway here. Alright, yeah, we can do this. Alright, speed's at 130 knots. Down to idle. Let's see if there is a taxiway here, or if we're just going to have to get off and... or if we're just going to have to turn it around, I mean. It looks like it's just going to be a little turnaround, and then we're going to have to taxi back down the runway. Oh, there's a little parking section over here. Yeah, why not? Get off the runway and see where we need to go here. That looks like a little, nice little area. All right. 12.8, 6 Bravo Papa. Playa Barraco, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa, looking to taxi to parking.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway.
Taxi to GA parking via taxiway, 6 Bravo Papa. I'm curious. I'm going to turn on the taxi ribbon to see where exactly they want that to be. Looks like it's probably going to be behind us. All right, let's go ahead and clean this up real quick. Flaps up, speed brakes are up, taxi lights are on. Come up here and turn around. Since I don't see that taxi ribbon in front of me, it would lead me to believe that they want us to go back down the runway. There it is. Yep. Actually, yeah. Couldn't tell if those were pointed this way or the other way. Okay. So we are going to follow that. General idea of where we're going. All right, so another botched approach. I feel like I have the ILS approaches nailed down. Those are pretty simple and pretty foolproof, I think, is probably why they're so simple. But that Rnav approach, the first time around on the first flight earlier, I think it was just a matter of didn't get it into Nav Mode to pick up that localizer. And then on this one, I did pick an Rnav approach in the flight planning on the main menu, but the chart did not have an Rnav frequency. The ATC was telling me that it was an Rnav approach, but... and there was a localizer because it eventually did pop up on the screen down here that there was a localizer that we were locked onto, but it was kind of taking us all over the place, and so eventually just turned off the autopilot and hand flew it the rest of the way in. And much like the first one, we made it down, so we're good. All right, this taxi ribbon's going to take us here and all the way back around the corner over there, so that's where we will go. Do this. This looks like fun. Fuel truck that's kind of randomly sitting on the apron. We'll try our best here to miss him. There we go. Need to run into him and cause a massive fire. Alright, this has us going all the way around here. Okay, I see where we're going. So we'll park it here, and then this will be our takeoff point when we fly the next leg here. We'll hop back to the main menu and see what makes the most sense flying out of here. I thought maybe we might get in a couple more flights. We'll see though. Maybe we'll just do one more into Florida or something. Let's see here. Hop back inside and park this thing. Go. Parking brake is set. Up top here. Shut down all of our lights. We're going to go inside and maybe grab some lunch, see who we're hauling back, and planning out our next flight. Alright, everything is off there. Pitot ice heat is off. LT is off. Let's go ahead and turn our emergency lights off. On down here and shut down both engines. Go down here. Shut off the generators. Close that bus tie. And shut down the battery. All right. Go ahead and stop the recording. We'll go back and do a quick look at the landing on this one. Flight recorder here. Pretty coming in, but we'll see how we where the gear was halfway in. Hopefully how I fix that on the recorder, but we'll look at it here in a second. We'll watch this from building top over here. Oh, got follow mode on, that's why I'm still moving. There we go, gears out all the way. A little bit of an early flare, got it floating just a little bit. Boy, again though. I am not upset at that at all. So, 2 botched approaches, but I would say 100% stuck the landings on both of them. Yeah. I'll take that. All right. Let's head back to the main menu. See where we are going to go from here. Montego Bay, we got a... Okay, somebody modeled it out a little bit better. Alright, we're going to take off out of Montego Bay, and let's just kind of take a look and see what our options are here. I think... Oh! No, we're not in Montego Bay. We just landed in Havana. Right here. Alright, we are going to take off from Havana. So, we could hop over to Cancun. We want to go to the actual Bahamas over here. I believe... What do we got? Newport Nelson. I think that's pushing it on the size of the runway we would need, so let's not go there. Could go ahead and just fly up into Florida. Maybe into Tampa or something. Really like to maybe hop over here to one of the Bahamas and then go up into Florida. Any runways? Congo Town. Let me look real quick. I am just curious to see exactly, realistically, how much runway Longitude needs. On Cessna's website here, so we'll get the takeoff field length 4810, landing distance 3170. So we could land here in Congo Town, no problem. No idea what Congo Town is. Got a 300 nautical miles. Then we could fly from there into somewhere into Florida and call it a day. Is there any little airports along here? Exuma. Yeah, let's fly there. That'll give us a little bit of a longer flight than back to Florida. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna leave Havana. Let's see, when we landed, we pulled back around here, I believe, is where we're parked now. So we'll go ahead and pick it up from there. 30 is where it's pointing us toward. What do they have? They got an Rnav. All right, third time's a charm. That's what I say. That's a pretty simple flight plan right there. That looks good to me. How high are they going to have us going? 34,300. Europe. How's that? Well, it's doing that no matter what. It's almost like we need an extra waypoint in there. We go. Yeah, regardless of where we cruise, that the Woo Nut to JPOC, we're dropping 12,000 feet in no time at all. Yeah, 5 nautical miles. Well, if that's what, I guess we could always try to add a waypoint in there. Those add. So you lot 2 and then. So I've never done that before. Can you add something? Well, that's where it has us go. Right here is where it's going to make that transition. That's all right. We'll deal with that. We can either request ATC to move us down just a little bit so that we're not just literally dropping out of the sky those last few feet. Okay. All right, let's do this thing. Let me punch this in while I've got them handy here so that our tracker updates up at the top. We're going MUPB to MYEF. Go. Fly. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways. I think I heard that green screen was being delivered just a little bit ago, but we'll go ahead and finish this flight up and have that set up for the next one. Alright, is this in the vicinity of where we parked? Pretty darn close. I think we are over just one more, but this will work. Alright. Hey, let's get going. Done this startup now 3 times in this stream, so I'm not going to sit here and talk through every step of it. Get it going. Get us back up in the air for our 3rd leg here of the Caribbean island hopping. Tune in the... Well, they don't have an ATIS, it looks like. Interesting, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's not a towered airport. Well, it still wants me to request IFR clearance, so... What is the MPF? I think it was Exuma. What is this? Baracoa, I think is the name of the airport. Playa Baracoa Tower, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa, looking for IFR clearance to Exuma.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is cleared to Mike Yankee Echo Foxtrot Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 21 climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 120.25 squawk 0241.
Cleared to Exuma as filed. Takeoff runway 21, climb and maintain 6,000. Departure 2025 squawk 0241. 6 Bravo Papa.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, read back correct. Contact ground on 128.8. Good day.
The Rnav 30 approach. Let's see if that has a frequency. Nope. All right, I think we're not even going to mess around with it. We'll let it get us onto the final, and then we'll just hand fly it in from there. I need to read up more and get myself a little more educated on everything, every other approach except for ILS, because I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on those. So, but we've screwed up every Rnav one we've tried so far today. Still landed just fine, but haven't done it the right way. And that's the way I want to do it, so. All right. Go ahead and get our engines fired up here. To FMS on that. So we'll go ahead and start her up. N2's good on the left. Fire it up. Go ahead and arm the ground spoilers. Right looks good. Generator on there. Waiting for the left one. I'll go ahead and hit pitot and anti-ice. ELT. Left engine is coming up good. That generator, open the bus tie, turn off the APU generator, and turn off the APU. All right, come down here. Squawk in 0241 looks good. We're on FMS. Good there. Go ahead and get our other lights going. I got our panel lights on. Go ahead and arm the emergency lights. I think we are just about ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and get our auto throttle. We'll get that set at 200 knots. The initial altitude, climb and maintain, was 6,000. It's ready. Nav Mode, flight director. All right. We are good to go. I think we are ready to taxi. Playa Baracoa ground, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is ready for taxi.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa, taxi to and hold short of runway 21 via taxiway. Contact tower on 128.8 when ready.
28.8, 6 Bravo Papa. And I forgot to read back the taxi instructions. That's okay. All right. 2-1. Came in and landed on. Yep. So we're basically just going to go out of here the same way we came And I'm going to back out, and just see if that's where it does have us go with the taxi ribbon. Yep. Then we will just taxi down the runway, make the turnaround down at the end, and be ready to go. So, all right. Release the parking brake. Taxi light is on. Tell our friends over here on the right to duck, and on the left. We're just going to go right around them. Gonna make our way toward Exuma, Bahamas. I think I don't know if that's the one where that big, the water park, or not water park, it's a resort, but the one you always see on TV that has like the slides that take you through a tunnel where there's sharks swimming around you and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's where that's at or not. Right, so let's get the flight recorder going. And we are going to be coming out onto the runway to taxi, so we do have clearance, but take a look just to make sure. There's a turnaround up here to pull into and turn around, but I think we'll probably just be able to hug the right side of the runway and just make a hard left turn here. Yeah, he did tell us to hold short of the runway, so actually let's do this the right way. We'll turn in. Hey, there's a GA aircraft right there. That's cool. He wasn't there when we landed. He is unfortunately parked in a bad spot. We're going to pretend that we're not going to clip him with our left wing. Mr. Bonanza. Looks like the co-pilot was in there. That's cool. But like the livery on that, that's what I'm talking about with the Just Flight traffic that they're working on. It would make it so that when that plane is sitting there like that, it wouldn't just kind of be that pastel. Well, I mean, that's not terrible, but you'll know what I mean if you see it on like an airliner or a jet. It's not the best looking thing and takes you out of the realism real quick. So, all right, we are holding short here. I'm going to go ahead and put in one notch of flaps, get all of our lights turned on, and go ahead and ask for our clearance. Fly bar, Koa Tower, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa, holding short of runway 21, ready for takeoff.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa altimeter 29er.9er for wind tree 39er at 6. Cleared for takeoff runway 21.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 21, Cessna 6 Bravo Papa. Alright, we're good to go, and when we take off here, we're going to be taking off straight out and then eventually making a left turn. So we'll get up and out of here and start our climb to 6 and let the autopilot take it. Alright, notch of flaps is in. Lights are on. Everything is good. We are ready to go. Pull up here just this tad bit before we gun it. I don't know if the rule is you're not supposed to really perform any kind of takeoff procedure until you've reached this part of the runway. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, but we're going to pretend it is. All right, here we go. Full power. I'm going to go ahead and set the auto throttle and let it take us down the runway. I'll look for about 110 knots. pull it back from the right over there. Oh, wow. Alright, well, we're off the ground, but man, that was really wanting to drift to the right. There was actually a wind coming off the right, so that was interesting. Alright, well, we're up.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa contact Havana Center on 120.5.
Gears up.
Good day.
2025, 6 Bravo Papa, good day. Havana Center, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is at 1200 climbing to 6000.
Cessna November 316 Bravo
Flaps
Papa
are up.
Havana Center altimeter 29er for continue as planned.
And start making a left turn here in just a minute. Flying it for now, and then we'll give it to the autopilot here once we kind of get straightened up more on our target line. What the heck is that? It was some interesting cloud textures there. Okay. All right, that's got us pointed in the general direction, so go ahead and get our vertical speed. We're only about 1,500 feet from where we need to be, but go ahead and punch in autopilot. He's going to level us out a tiny bit, try and get us back on the line we need to be on, and climb us the extra 1,000 feet to get to 6,000. Spoilers disarmed. Must have been using them as we were taxiing. Probably should have cleared that before we took off and rearmed them, but that's all right. $6,000, so I'm guessing they're probably going to go ahead and move us up a little higher here.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 13,000, 6 Bravo Papa. Back in so I can punch that in real quick, and then we'll go back out and go back to the views. To 250 knots here. At about 2,000 feet a minute. All right. Not above 10,000 yet. I believe that's when, from what I have seen and read, is when you typically start kicking off like your lights and everything. We're at 7,000, and just so I don't forget, let's go ahead and turn them off now. Out a window here. Hop outside here and what kind of views we got. Looks like we're kind of taking our way back over Cuba. Let me pan out here. Scroll on the viewfinder map. Yeah, I think we're kind of coming back the way we came. Well, I mean, eventually here we're going to turn off and go a little bit further north, but our little island hopping adventure this morning in the Caribbean, we've bounced around a little bit. Yep, kind of in the general direction. We're heading a little farther north than what we did when we came in. The stream ran into some sort of issue earlier, so there is a, I guess you would call it part one of this stream that had the first 1.5 flights on it on my channel, and so I tried stopping and restarting without, you know, completely killing the stream, but whatever issue it was having didn't go away until I completely just ended that stream and started a new one. So kind of a part one and part two of this morning session here. So our first flight was from Kingston to Montego Bay, so that's in the part one video, and then we took off from Montego Bay and headed toward Cuba, and that is where this stream started with. Climb and maintain 14,000, 6 Bravo Papa. Alright, let's hop back inside and punch that in. Up 1,000 feet, so I think that is what I put in as our cruising altitude, so that's probably right. Alright, so this will be a nice flight the rest of the way. Not too high up, have some nice views. Speed us up here, get us to some cruising speed, probably somewhere in the 280 to 290 knot range, since we're just at 14,000 feet. Up to 300, why not? The words of the great Clark Griswold, will make good time. Alright, we may even go a little bit faster than that, but for now that's fine. Alright, everything looks cleaned up here. Yep. Good to go. Let's see who's got the better view. We got some... Yeah, we'll stick with this one for now. I know we're at 14,000. We are on this track for quite a little bit here. There we go. Now I can zoom out. Yeah, we're going to be on this leg for quite a little while here. I'm going to take a little break for a second, so I'll leave it on this view. That's a pretty good view, and I will be right back.
7 tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting off the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant a seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. 'bout my life, full of questions I couldn't answer if I tried. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight? Seven tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting off the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant a seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. 'bout my life, full of questions I couldn't answer if I tried. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight? Seven tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant a seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. Asking about my life, full of questions I couldn't answer if I tried. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight? Seven tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant a seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while...
Alright, well, I had a feeling if I was gone too long, it was going to cancel the flight plan. Because I didn't respond, so...
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Havana Center.
if we can get that back.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa radar contact 5 miles north of Mike Uniform Mike India 14,000 feet. Altimeter 29.901. Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is cleared to Mike Yankee Echo Foxtrot Airport is filed. Squawk 1654. Cessna 6 Bravo Papa read back correct. Radar contact 14,000 feet. Altimeter 29.9er, 1 turn right heading 09er 5. Proceed on course climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
Let's speed it up just a bit here. About that window. the VFR map, looks like we have somebody coming across in front of us. Not seeing them, maybe way up higher than us. Or lower. It's pretty sweet looking.
No leader 730, you are tree 7 miles north. Descend and maintain 2,300 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 08 approach.
Well, that one jet that I saw actually maybe has spawned at an airport. Well, no, he's out over the ocean. No, he's moving. Okay.
Descend and maintain 2,300 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 08 approach. No leader 730.
Hop to the cockpit and see if I can see him. Be right in front of us at this point. And any lights. Hop outside and see if we see him. Be way above us. Oh, now he's gone off the map. May have been a live player. Wow, this is neat. Oh, I think this might call for one of the top-down shots. It's become my new favorite camera angle in this game. Look at that. Kidding me? Need to have a bit more of that land in there. I'll wait just a little bit. Snapping some of these screenshots when I get a chance. Looked like the water was quite as blue as it was back there, but that's alright. Man, this is pretty slick. The northeast side of Cuba now at this point. As we make our way toward Exuma, I believe is how it's pronounced, Bahamas. That is where we are going. Top-down shots. We have that swirly turquoise water there. That's cool. Awesome. Alright. Enough photo taking. See what the old co-pilot's looking at out their window. A really bright blue, kind of fluorescent looking water out the right side there. I'll have to hop out and look at that from up above here when we come across it. In case you haven't noticed, I'm all about the sightseeing when it comes to this simulator. Obviously flying and landing and everything else is first and foremost, but shot itself. Get this bright. Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Well, there's the blue we were seeing over there. Okay. Is it supposed to be waves? Is that just some... Wow. Whatever it is, awesome. Get a shot of that with the jet. Ah, about to lose it. Messing around too much. Excellent. Wonder if I can get up above the shot and include that in there. No, I think we've gone past it already. We're a little too far out anyway for it. That's alright. That is awesome though. Kind of a, whoops, far away back shot there. That's neat right there. Alright. Said it the first time. I'm done taking pictures. Back to the cockpit we go. Let's go off the right wing. We can probably see a little bit of that. There we go.
Seven tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant a seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. life, full of questions I couldn't answer if I tried. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight? Seven tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant the seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. Asking about my life, full of questions I couldn't answer if I tried. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight? Seven tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant the seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice, for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding, maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. asking about my life, full of questions I couldn't answer.
Hey, Nicholas, how's it going, man? All right. Be getting ready to hit our last waypoint before it then starts the approach. Now, it's still quite a little ways to go here, but this is the last waypoint until we hit those approach markers. Go down here and take a look and see exactly how far that'll be. Kind of see how far we've got left there. So we make the, there we go. Alrighty. So the Ulatu to the Woonut, interesting waypoint name. Looks like we got about 22 minutes. So once we hit that waypoint, we will be in approach mode and getting ready to land. After that, we will probably do one last flight, maybe back into Florida or something, and call it good for the day. Get 4 individual flights in, I'll take that. But ocean now until we hit the Bahamas. Last remaining bits of the Cuban coast back there. As you can see, we are all, oh yeah, there's some islands there off to the left a little ways. Yeah, mainly ocean. Zoom in on our pilot and co-pilot here. Frame's still looking good. It's been getting pretty much 60 this entire way. been happy with the way that, aside from the glitch earlier, it's been, according to the stats up there on the screen, the stream's been pretty consistent. I would love to be able to, especially with this game and the visuals and everything that come along with it, I would love to be able to stream this at, 2K or in 1440, but I know that a lot of that depends on upload speed, because I have gigabit internet in terms of download speed, but then upload speed is somewhere around the 30 megabits per second, which I've done a couple of tests trying to do it in 2K, and it'll go well for a little while and then start to get a little choppy, and I would just be a lot happier if I had gigabit. What? There's some dogs in the background. Sorry about that. I was saying I'd be a lot happier if we had gigabit upload as well as download, but unfortunately in our area right now they are not offering that. But as soon as they do, I will more than likely be all over that, because that's essentially what the only thing right now holding me back from being able to get a stream out there maybe in 2K. So hopefully that's the goal. Got the dirty window here for a little while. Well, looks like a little spattering, whatever you want to say, of islands up here. That's interesting. Got the front window there and see them. Not familiar with the geography of this area much at all, so couldn't tell you what that is. It does look nice though.
contact Miami Center on 125.7. Good day.
I think I will hop over and see if our... Oh, you know what? I can't. Since we're doing live everything, there's no weather option. I'm just going to look and see if our little ATIS trick worked on that. Well, shoot. Thought when I clicked in the VFR map earlier, pull it over here so you can see. I thought that when well, because now you can do this search. Does it show you? Okay, so it gives you a little information about the airport and just the frequencies, but yeah, no weather information. Okay. That's cool though, that gives you the runways.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa contact Miami Center on 125.7. Good day.
25.7, 6 Bravo Papa, good day. Miami Center, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is at flight level 140.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Miami Center altimeter 29.89, continue as planned.
Alright. Thinking back to when we did this flight plan in the nav log, it was showing that on this leg, when we get to Woonut, it literally drops us from our 14,000 cruising altitude straight down to 2,000. So I'm going to assume they'll start vectoring us in a little prior to that and that it's not going to be a glitch.
Miles west. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Expect Rnav runway 30 approach via 1 at transition. Cleared to
Slow
1.
down, okay. Speed not above 200 knots. Expect Rnav runway 30 approach via Woonut transition. Cleared to Woonut. Alright, so we gotta go ahead and slow way down. 200 knots. Gonna keep our same altitude, but slow way the heck down. That will make the last leg of this flight a little bit longer. I think I'll still be able to squeeze in a quick flight back up to Florida, but we will see. May need to save that for another time.
Bravo Papa descend and maintain
There we go.
2,300 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,300, 6 Bravo Papa. Alright, so at least they gave us a little bit of warning before we got to Woonut. I think I will use flight level change on this one to handle this altitude. Our auto throttle set at 200 and let it start bringing us down here and control the speed as well. I'll watch as we start to get closer and just make sure we won't need to bring it down a lot quicker, but I think that should work. Another Rnav approach, but I think when we were looking at this earlier, I did not see a frequency. Maybe I'm just completely way off thinking that there should be one, but I mean, there wasn't that first flight that we did. We just didn't hit the approach button in time to grab it. But yeah, now when I go over to the Right there, it doesn't show it. Let's look at a chart for it. Rnav 30, yep, that's what we were doing. Okay. Okay, so we'll be coming in the Woonut transition, max speed of 200 knots. Be at 2,300 feet at Jipok, and then Zundi. I always thought that this little signal here is where it would tell you that's where you'll intercept the localizer at. But looking at this, I don't see a frequency that would tell me that there's one in there. Guess I could look it up and try and figure it out before we get up there to land, but I think we'll just bring it in manually. We'll let the they'll probably, the last vector they'll give us will be the 2300 at Jipok. So I'm just going to leave this up. And remember that we got to get down 1700 between Jipok and Zundi to try and make it so I don't have to nosedive at the very end like I've done the last couple of times. Alright, just make that a little bit bigger for us. Alright, that'll work. Alright, we're 200 knots. Down to about 9,500 at this point. We still got quite a little ways to Woonut. About 10 minutes, it says. 40 miles. Alright. And then peek outside while we're waiting here. Not much off the left wing. I don't believe there'll be anything off the right wing either. Not much. See if we can make it 3 for 3 on landings. Curious about the speed limit there to come into like this Woonut transition. Like it said in the clearance, keep speed not above 200 knots. Now is that once you hit that transition, you got to be at 200 knots, or whether or not they were telling me at this point I had to be at 200 knots right now? Because I'm really thinking that was, I mean, there was no reason to be this slow this far out still. And in fact, just for the sake of maybe being able to get in one more flight, I'm actually going to speed up. Speed up to about 250 knots. Just get there a little bit faster. As of right now, what time is it? Yeah, I could probably get in one more flight really quickly. Oh, and we are climbing. That must be the flight level change doing that. Oh, that's fun. So we're going to go back to vertical speed and let that bring us back down. So there you go. I screwed it up by doing that, but I'm trying to maximize our time here. All right, boy, that climbed quickly. Up us down here about 3,000 feet a minute. And then we'll make sure we're down to 200 knots by the time we hit Woonut.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, please expedite your descent 2,300 feet.
Yeah, that's my bad. Tried something different and we started climbing rapidly rather than continue our descent. But we will be at 2300 before we get to Woo Nut, no problem.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa contact Nav Approach on 121.0. Good day.
21.0, 6 Bravo Papa. Good day. Nassau Approach, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is at 4200, descending to 2300.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Nassau Approach altimeter 29.89er. Continue to 1 as planned.
She called it Wonut. That's probably right, but I like Woonut. Alright, yeah, we're going to get down here to 2300 pretty quickly. Once we level out at 2300, then I can bring the speed back to 200 fairly rapidly. But not going to do it just yet because we still got ways to go, so. Peek off this wing, see if we got islands in view yet. Absolutely we do. Fantastic. Alright, get our speed down before they start yelling at us because we are coming up on that waypoint. Glad I sped up a little bit. We'd still be way out there at this point. I'm thinking that means keep speed not above 200 when you reach the waypoint. Because I would think that, I mean, we were still 50 miles out at that point, so to slow us all the way down to 200 knots that far out, although maybe, I mean, that could be true. But just in the interest of time here, I thought we would just kind of kick it in the butt a little bit and get there a bit faster. In fact, I'm going to hold on to 225 here for just a few minutes longer as we get closer. According to that, yeah, so we're at 2300 until we hit Japak, so we'll be on final still at this altitude, so not worried about being able to slow it down to 200 at all, especially if we're not going to be descending. Sight, and we're going to go ahead and start making the turn apparently. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get us down to the 200 speed limit here. Dropping below 225, so we'll go first notch of flaps. cleared for the approach here pretty soon. Yeah, we're kind of cutting this short compared to what I'm seeing on the map, so not exactly sure where it's taking us. We will go ahead. I'm going to bring it down to 185. Put in that second notch of flaps. Yeah, we're almost taking more of a direct route. What I'm talking about here is based on what the VFR map was showing. We're kind of taking a direct route to Zundi almost. Yep, now he's working his way back right. It's shown we're going from Wunut to Japak, so. Ah, okay. Well, we will see if they go ahead and bring us down. Yeah, now we're almost flying directly east toward Japak, so. Little fun with the, or not fun, but I would say some sort of little glitch in the Microsoft flight planning there. Right now, whenever I do any of my flight plans, I just do them through the main menu map there.
You are 10 miles southeast of Mike Yankee Echo Foxtrot.
10 miles southeast of MYEF 6 Bravo Papa. Looks like we tune in traffic, so I think it said it was Exuma International Airport. I can't imagine that that would not be towered, but okay. Weird. Alright, we're at 175 knots. Once we make this left turn, I'm going to go ahead and throw on our lights. Once we make this left turn, then we'll drop the gear. Put in the final notch of flaps and be ready to land. Once we make this left turn, that will be on our, technically our final approach then. And then at Zundi, we should be down to 1700 at that point. So I'm going to start dropping our altitude. I'll probably just start flying it manually after we finish this left turn here. Yeah, so I'm going to tune to the traffic. Yeah, so it's apparently not towered right now. Well, like some of those announcements, I'm not great at them, but how far out are we? Man, 2, it's not too crazy. Okay, we're heading to Zundi now. We're 6 miles. We're about 10 miles from the airport. Yep, that's about right. What they announced last time for us as well, so. Okay, well, I'm going to start bringing down our altitude now. Sure, there's a localizer, but some autopilot way of landing this at this point, but yeah, we'll just do it by hand. All right, dropping the gear, final notch of flaps, landing lights are on, everything looks good. See the runway ahead. I'm gonna keep the auto throttle probably on at this point. And then I'm going to go ahead and release the autopilot. And I'm going to try and keep us on a decent glide slope here. Auto throttle, I've got us at 175. I'm going to drop that. About 165 for right now. Everything's good. Alright, yeah, we're just going to bring this in. Oh, and now we're about, I think about 6 miles out. We'll go ahead and announce that. And we are landing runway 3. Yeah, 30. Eczema traffic, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is 10 miles out on a runway 30 approach. Eczema traffic. We've hit Zundi, I believe at this point now we're about 5 miles. Yeah. Eczema traffic, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is on 5 mile final runway 30. Eczema traffic. Bring it down to about 150. Glide slope not too bad. Wind, pretty much a headwind. If anything, maybe a tiny bit off the left. Bring it back up. Auto throttle keeping us at 150 knots. Switch that off probably once we get over these trees here. Full flaps, landing gear down, 3 green. Lights are on. We've announced. Go ahead and announce one more time here. We are 2.5 miles out. Eczema traffic, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is 2 miles out. Landing runway 30. Eczema traffic. We are landing. Auto throttle is off. I will take it from here. Not the longest runway in the world with these trees over here. Got to make sure you get down, but then also get stopped. Be plenty though. Good. Back to idle. I will once again take that. Alright, reversers are off. Spoilers are up. Get some brakes going here. I'm not sure if there is a turnaround or if we're going to be taxiing back down the runway here. Let's see. Probably not. Yeah, we're going to taxi back down the runway. Probably not going to do a replay on this one. I do want to try and get in one more flight before I got to take off. So let's taxi back, park, go set up that next flight, and we will be good to go. Not going to announce clear of the runway just yet because we are taxiing back down it. Also, I'd be curious to know, when you have to taxi back down a runway like this, do you hug one side of it? I mean, just in case somebody is coming in? I mean, so you're not just strolling down the middle of it here when somebody's made a mistake and they're coming in to land while you're still on the runway? I don't know. Be curious to know that. Alright, so we got a turn in coming up here on the left. I'll go ahead and announce our taxi. Eczema traffic, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa, taxiing to general aviation parking. Eczema traffic. Probably should say taxiing down runway, just so that they know, but that's okay. I swore that this said Eczema International Airport. Boy, if it is, this is it's a small one. Honestly thought it was going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, we'll clear our disarm spoiler warning there. And actually, I'm not going to Yeah, we'll go ahead and shut it down because we're going to start it up when we get back in it. Eczema traffic, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa is clear of the runway. Eczema traffic. Alright. Flaps are back up. Taxi lights are on. They should have been on earlier. That's my bad. Oh, we got somebody else here. Did I see our parking over there? That appears to be where they probably want us to park, but I'd really love to park next to that other citation over there. Yeah, we'll just go right over here. Why not? Passengers would probably appreciate being a little bit closer to the terminal over here. I keep thinking those are citations. I don't know if that is. I think it might be a Pilatus. All right, we are parked. Parking brake is on. Gonna go up top, shut down all of our lights, kill our panel lights. Flight director can come off. Everything is good. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and kill the engines. Both engines shut down. Both engine generators shut down, closing the bus tie and shutting off the battery. We are here and we are done at Eczema. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recorder. I'll probably clip the landing, do a replay of the landing, and put it on the, maybe as a short or something on the YouTube channel. So just don't have enough time right now to play it back and try to get in one more flight before I need to end the stream. So look for that some point here in the future. We'll go ahead and get that up there. So, all right, so we landed at MYEF, was it? Be a whole lot easier to do this. Yeah, MYEF. So we're going to type that in as our departure and see what makes the most sense for our final flight here. All right, there we are. What do we got? Looks like Miami International may be the closest. Looking at about a 30-minute flight, 275 knots. Not too bad. What's Key West? A little bit longer, actually. Could go into Nassau. Maybe a lot shorter of a flight than it needs to be. Let's go ahead and let's just get into Miami Airport. Miami International. All right. Get down here. Oh, they don't. Yeah, okay. They do have parking spots for us. Good. All right. There's our departure. We'll go low altitude airways into Miami. That's an interesting route. High altitude airways take us. Or what the deal is with having the Nassau. Can I remove that? Yikes. Well, I do not want to do that. You know what? Maybe let's just fly into Nassau. That may be definitely a shorter flight. Yeah, 151. Let's just do that. We'll stay in the Bahamas. I did say it was going to be a Caribbean leg, so why not end it in the Caribbean? We don't need to go back to Florida. Oops. I actually picked the runway. There we go. Runway 32. Low altitude airways. Approaches or arrivals? It's interesting. Hard to believe, actually. Oh, there. Kind of scroll down a ways. Okay. Do not see any ILS, so we will go. Looks like they want us to come in on 3-2, so we'll go Rnav 3-2. Yep, that looks good. Okay. Let's fly. So let me punch these in real quick. MYEF. And MYNN. There we go. Linden Pendling International Airport in Nassau, Bahamas. Alrighty, let's fly.
All I see are puzzles, yeah.
Trying to remember to start the recorder and we can get the full flight for this one. This will be a nice little fun flight for somebody that wants to catch it from a passenger view on one of my boarding pass videos.
7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong.
Fly. Let's take a peek outside real quick, see where we're gonna go. Yeah, we're just gonna taxi right over there. This is where we were supposed to park. Cool. All right, hop back inside and let's get this thing fired up quickly so we can get out of here. You starting up. About the weather or the ATIS or anything, we just came in here. It's untowered, so we know that we'll be announcing our own departure. Our APU generator. Get a light on. Go ahead and throw this into FMS. Speed there on the 200 knots. That was our speed limit coming in, so I'm guessing that'll be coming out too. All right, let's go ahead and get it started up. We can request the clearance, even though it appears there's probably not a tower we'll be tuning to. That's all right. Read that a little bit better. 17, 18. All right, we'll be at 20. Start. Eczema Tower, Eczema Clearance Delivery, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa, picking up IFR clearance to Nassau.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa is cleared to Nassau Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.7 squawk 6627. Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
Cleared to Nassau Airport is filed. Climb and maintain 13,000. Departure 257, squawk 6627. 6 Bravo Papa.
Please acknowledge.
Yep, just did. Didn't get a chance to push the button fast enough.
Correct. Good day.
Got ahead of ourselves and didn't hit the starter button when I thought I did. All right, those generators are going. Go ahead and turn off the APU generator. The bus tie's open. This is what happens when you try to do it in a hurry. All right, that all looks good. Arm the spoilers. Let's see. We were climbing and maintaining 13,000. It would have already put in the squawk. Okay, we're good there. We're on FMS. Our departure when we go to leave. I'll look at this stuff up in the air. Everything's fine there. All right. Go ahead and get some lights on now that we're all fired up. We'll go ahead and turn our taxi light on because we're going to be ready to go. Emergency lights are on for the passengers. ELT is on. Pitot and ICE are on. Reset them. I don't think they were shut off from the last flight. All right. I think everything else is good to go. Spoilers are disarmed. Thought they were armed. All right. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and taxi. So we'll announce that. We are taking off. Well, it didn't give us a runway takeoff, but I think it was 30, I believe. If I remember right, yep, 30. Exima traffic, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa is taxiing to runway 30, Exima traffic. All right, parking brake is off and we are rolling. Duck, tug guy. Fly W4R, how's it going, man? Left a thumbs up, thank you. Awesome. Finishing up fourth leg of a little Caribbean trip this morning. I had to stop the stream about halfway through. Something was going wrong with it, so there's kind of a part one out there that captures about the first leg and a half of the trip, and then the second part here, we're finishing it up. So we're about to make our final flight here out of Exima into Nassau. Guyana, like 1 hour flight from Trinidad. Awesome. We're down in your neck of the woods. I had another guy, Nicholas, he was on here earlier, and he was mentioning that I should fly to Trinidad. So I've got that on the list as one to go to next. Sounds like it's be a fun flight as well. So gonna finish this flight up, and then I'm gonna hop off for the rest of the day. But I'll definitely got those on the list for our next stream. Nice Caribbean location. Yeah, it sounds like it. Boy, I could stand to be in the Caribbean right now. This is flying over. It's definitely making me wish I was there right now for sure. All right, we're at the end of the runway. We're going to circle around, announce our intention to take off, and then get going. Up here, we will go ahead and come to a stop on this one while we announce and then get ready to go. Go. All right, get all of our lights lit up here. 1 notch of flaps going in. Everything else looks good. We got our 13,000 feet set. 200 on the auto throttle. Nav mode is ready. I think we are good to go. We'll go ahead and announce. Exima traffic, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa, taking off runway 30, departing straight out. Exima traffic. All right, let's go. Off, punch in the auto throttle and let it take us. For that same 110 or so. Or there, rotate. Gear coming up. Need to pretty much give a hard left here to get us back where we need to go, so I'm going to hand fly that because I have a feeling if I turn that over to the autopilot it's going to take us on a pretty wacky course to get us there. So we'll start that way. Real-life pilot, absolutely not, no sir. Love the citations. I mean, a huge fan of Flight Simulator. I've been flying it, I mean, since I was a kid in the early 2000s, and then took quite a break from it. And then when 2020 came out and it had this realism that I have never seen anything like in my life, I got back into it. And yeah, once I found out there was a citation on there, started out with the CJ4 and then got the deluxe version and got a hold of the Longitude, and after installing one of the flight mods, the flight improvement mods for it, I love this thing and this is all I fly. So I've done research and looked at, you know, real life manuals and checklists and guides and all kinds of stuff, so I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on flying it about as realistic as I can. But yeah, in no way am I a real life pilot for sure. So but love flying it in the simulator. So Sonia, hi. how's it going? Just finishing up, like I was telling Fly W4R, we're just finishing up our last leg here of a little bit of a Caribbean sightseeing tour, I guess you could say. But there's another part to the stream on my YouTube page. I had to stop this one halfway through because some technical difficulties. So there's about a flight and a half on the first part of that video, and then this stream has had the rest of them here. But been a lot of fun so far. Definitely flying the plane fiber pilot. Yeah, well, on here so far it's been okay, but yeah, if you watch back the streams, the landings have been great, but the approaches have been another story. Usually when it comes to an ILS approach, I have no problem. You know, they're pretty simple. They take care of themselves, and you know, I've gotten pretty good at flying those, but I need to do my research on Rnav approaches and those procedures and that sort of thing, because most of these Caribbean airports have had Rnav approaches, and when it's come down to, you know, the last couple of waypoints and the legs, you know, of, I think you're supposed to pick up localizers, maybe, but I was a little late on pushing buttons and getting approaches and all that kind of stuff, so pretty much every flight so far that's had an Rnav approach, I've just had to hand fly it in once we got somewhat close to the airport. And I'll probably have to do the same thing here, but yeah, so if you watch them back, pay no attention to the to the less than perfect approaches, but the landings have been good. We've recovered nicely. And I just realized while I'm talking here, I have gone 2,500 feet above my 13,000 altitude. So I'm going to go ahead and tune in Nassau Center, and they're probably going to yell at me for that. Nassau Center, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa, is at flight level 16,000, descending to 13,000.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Nassau Center altimeter 29.89er. Continue to gas as planned.
See if the autopilot will bring us back down to 13,000.
Above 200 knots.
Oh boy, we were not supposed to go above 200 knots. Okay. That speed limit is still in effect. Not above 200 knots, 6 Bravo Papa. Alright, slowing down and having to descend. Awesome. Well, this is what happens when I talk and try to fly at the same time. Alright, so we'll let the autopilot bring us back down, both with speed and the right altitude. Just got off work. Yeah, I got lucky today, and I had a vacation day today, so normally I stream usually in the evenings. It's 9:30, or not 9:30, probably 8 to 8:30 in the evening is when I usually start to stream. I just started last week, so but I love it, so there's definitely going to be a lot more of them, but yeah, usually I'm streaming in the evening, but got lucky today and had a vacation day, so I started off this morning at about 10 o'clock, so we've been going for about 4 hours now, so just realized flaps are still down. Go ahead and bring those up. Luckily, I at least had the landing gear up. I did something right. Okay. Go ahead and turn off the lights there, taxi and run landing lights. But yeah, got lucky and got a day off work today, so I thought, let's fly and might as well stream it at the same time. So thank you for stopping by, especially on your, now that you're off work. You could be doing many other things to relax, but I appreciate you stopping in. Fly WFR, I'll watch till the stream ends. Thanks, man. Sounds awesome. Shouldn't be too terribly long. This is not an extremely long flight, just going from Eczema to Nassau, so I say it shouldn't take too long. It depends on how long I'm under this 200 knot speed limit they've got me in. I noticed that when I was landing at Eczema, but didn't know it was still going to be in effect when I took off. Alright, bump us up to 14,000. Awesome. Climb and maintain 14,000. 6 Bravo Papa. I'll try bumping the speed up here in a little bit and see if it yells back at me or not. Thanya, what is your occupation? I am a business intelligence analyst. So, long story short, I basically work with data and write reports and do a lot of analysis. So, can be a little boring and mundane at times, but it's fun. Not as much fun as flying, but it's fun. How about yourself? Are a maid in Sweden. Awesome. That's cool. So you are from Sweden, the home of PewDiePie. Although you're an American by birth. There you go. How is Sweden? It always looks like a pretty beautiful country from everything I've ever seen from it. Let's see. Fly WFR. I'm just going to call you Fly from now on, if that's okay. I have a friend who streams Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think you would love to check his channel out because I got recommended your stream for one of his videos. Yeah, absolutely. It may be one I already watched, too. Obviously, the one thing that got me into wanting to stream out here was watching all of the other ones that I've been watching for several months now. And so, yeah, let me know, and I'll... let me know what his name is, and him or her, and we'll check him out for sure. Sweden is so beautiful. I bet it is. Flight Simulator streaming community is probably my favorite. Yeah, I've just from hanging out and watching some of those other streams and stuff. It seems like a pretty cool group of people. They all are pretty passionate about this game, and for good reason. It is pretty awesome. It's insane how realistic it's gotten. I'm going to go ahead and try to bump the speed up here. See if we get yelled at for going too fast. We're not quite distance away that we were when they vectored us down to 200 last time, but we'll give it a shot here. Worst thing that can happen is they tell us to slow down. Try and come up to 250 knots here and see what happens. Irregardless, even if they told me to slow down, I would probably need to keep it going because I've got to pick up the kid from school here in a little less than an hour. So I need to get this flight done on the ground and in the books. Us up here to 280 knots. I think they would have told us by now if we were speeding too quickly. I think our cruising altitude must be 14,000. We've been here for quite a while and they haven't moved us off of that. So I'm going to come up to 300 knots. Leave it there for a minute. I think we'll be good. Love your YouTube channel name. Yeah, thank you. It initially started out as I just called it Air Capital Citation, but after a little while I thought, nah, I want to get her down to one word, because especially if I would comment and talk in other people's streams, I could always tell it was difficult for the streamer to, when they would, want to call you by name, just having to spit out Air Capital Citation every time. So I thought, well, what's a play on words for citation? And thought, why not flying in the sky, Skytation? So, good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. What's the name of your buddy's channel? I wonder if it's one I already watch. It's Alex. Honestly, yes, I have come across some of his videos before. Usually when I search around and looking for one to watch, I've seen him streaming. I like his approach too. I think he just specifically does just like in the chat window, just typing and stuff, which is cool because there's nothing on the screen, no video of anybody, no voiceovers or anything like that. You're literally just watching the flight. I think that's cool. That's kind of what I strive for when I make my the actual videos that I post to my channel that I call the boarding pass videos. Typically what I'll do is I'll take a flight just like this, which, dang it, I forgot to start the recorder on. Shoot. I've done that on almost every one of the flights so far. No, so with the boarding pass video, so I'll fly these flights like this, but then I go ahead and record them with the Sky Dolly flight recorder. And then later on I will go in and I'll go back to into the simulator and load that flight in with Sky Dolly, and then I'll pick one of these views, typically either this one or let me get back. I guess I'm not clicked in the simulator here. Either that view or that view typically, but I do have the default window view here that shows the nice dirty window, but usually one of these views, and I'll replay the entire flight just from that vantage point. No sound or no music or anything else other than just that view and then the sound coming from the video game. And it's the fully unedited, nothing speed ramped. It's literally, if you wanted to take that flight, whatever it is, maybe it's New York to Atlanta or something, you get in, you fly that flight, and that's it. And you basically are seeing the perspective from if you were on, in this case, the Citation jet, and we're sitting in that seat, that would be the view that you had. That would be the, basically the real experience. And it's strictly because of the visuals this game offers that makes me want to make videos like that, because it honestly, like, I could be on a Citation right now, this jet, with a video camera held up to the window with this view, and it would hardly look any different than what this looks like. This is so realistic, it's crazy. And so that's why I wanted to start making videos like that, so that, I enjoy watching them, and I thought maybe there'd be a few more people out there that would enjoy it as well, to, just kind of get a realistic passenger view feel from this game, and, be able to go out there and pull up a flight that maybe they're going to fly fairly soon, or maybe a flight that they'll never, something like this. Maybe somebody knows they'll never be able to go to the Bahamas, but they want to see what it's like to kind of island hop between some of these places. I mean, this is going to be about as real as it gets, and so that's why I really enjoy making these types of videos like this. But yeah, Alex flies. I like watching some of his videos where he's letting it go without any music or any theatrics, basically, and that makes those are fun to watch. He has 1,000 subs. Awesome. That's cool. That's what I subbed. I like how personal he is. Yeah. Sonia, my employer has strict rules while I'm on her property on an island near the Sweden mainland. Oh, interesting. Okay. Fly. That's a good idea. Like raw flight videos, and not many do that, especially on flights. And yeah, I mean, I hesitated to even do live streams because I thought, I don't want to. I thought about, doing some similar to kind of what Alex does, where, do a live stream, but don't put myself on there, don't do any kind of voiceover or, talk about anything like that. But then I thought, well, when I go on somebody's live stream, I like reading the chat, and I like taking part in the chat, and asking the pilot certain questions, if there's something that I see that he does that I haven't learned how to do yet. I like that interaction with it. And so I know I could have done that through a chat window, but by the time I've tried to type out everything I've just said in the last couple of minutes, the chat would have been insane. The paragraphs I would have typed by now. And so I thought, I'll just give it a shot starting out here. Just kind of stick myself down in the corner and fly these flights. And if anybody hops in and joins the chat, then that would be awesome. And hopefully, I had a guy on here the other night who was a controller on the VATSIM network, because I've kind of made it known that eventually the goal is I want to, when I fly, be on the VATSIM network to try to just take the realism, that much further, one step further. And so he was letting me know, how helpful they are. And, I'm always worried I don't want to get on there and start, screwing up and not saying the right things and all that sort of thing. And he said, that's not what they're all about. He said, they're there to help you learn. And so it's when you get on there and just screw around and, try to make a mockery of it that they'll boot you off of there. But, if you say the wrong thing, they'll be happy to correct you and that sort of thing. So I enjoyed hearing that, because that makes me feel like maybe I'm a little bit closer to being able to give that a shot than what I was thinking I would be. So hopefully we'll be able to do that pretty soon. We shall see, though. Yeah, I don't know how he types and flies at the same time. Exactly. That was when I first started. My first live stream was earlier in the week, Monday, I think. And I had a person typing in the chat, and I was, sitting here trying to think, because I got a yoke and a honeycomb yoke and a throttle quadrant here, and then I have my keyboard sitting above it, so I was trying to reach up there and type at the same time. And then I was on autopilot at the time, so I wasn't too worried about, having to control the airplane. But yeah, it definitely brings another element into it when you have to type your replies. So I think I'm happy with my decision here to at least have the audio, where I can talk and answer questions or ask questions of people and not have to worry about typing all of it in the chat window. So what other streamers do you like to watch fly? Do you I watch the first one, I think, very first time I typed in flight simulator streaming was XP72. I watch him quite a bit. I enjoy watching those guys. I like the guy, the thing about it, especially when I decided to kind of build mine around just the citation, was the fact that, there's a lot of streamers out there and a lot of guys that, are good pilots and flying these jets, but they all fly the airliners. And I thought, it would be fun to learn how to fly one of those, but I thought, I'll try and do something a little bit different. And I've always been more of a big fan of the business, the smaller regional business style jets than the big airliners. I love watching other people fly the airliners, but when it comes to flying them, the Citation, I mean, you can't beat that. Yeah, XP72, there you go. Yep, I watch him too. There's a couple other ones I sprinkle in here and there, but it's kind of funny. Once you start streaming yourself, you end up not having as much time to watch the other ones that you did in the first place. Like right now, I would probably be watching somebody else rather than streaming it myself, but We are making pretty good time here. We'll be able to make this in no time.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Keep speed
Oh
not
yeah,
above
they're ready for us to
2009.
come down. Descend and maintain 2,000, speed not above 200. 6 Bravo Papa. It's the slow down. So we will start. Still a little ways out, not too far though. I think we'll be able to finish this flight in plenty of time. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the speed way down. And I'm going to let it get down before I start descending.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, you are tree 7 miles southeast. Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect Rnav runway tree 2 approach via hit-no transition.
We got 210 knots.
Cleared to hit-no.
Speed above, not above 210 knots. Expect Rnav runway 32 approach via hid-no transition. Clear to hid-no. 6 Bravo Papa. Start our descent. Nice. All right, so we will, looking at this. So when we come in, make that right turn at Hidno into Cuddly. Interesting. Once we make that waypoint to Cuddly and start on kind of the straight on final, I'll probably just take it over and manually fly it in from there. Not going to worry about the localizers or anything like that.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway tree 1 approach.
Speed limit as we're trying to descend here to 2,000, even though we're basically down to idle. I'll go ahead and throw up some speed brakes here just to help out a little bit. Kind of see them coming up here on the wing. Do you have a Discord server for your channel? No, I don't. Honestly, don't even know what Discord is. Sound like an idiot, but sorry. Is that a Discord server? Is that something that helps out with streaming? When I hear server, I'm thinking that it has to do with like streaming. Speed brakes are keeping us low. Oh, Discord is for like gamer communities. Oh, okay. I'll have to look at it tonight. I'll do a little research on it.
Nassau approach on 121.0. Good day.
121.0. 6 Bravo Papa. Good day. Nassau approach, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa is at 6,500, descending to 2,000.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Nassau approach altimeter 29.88. Continue to Hidno as planned.
So when you say Discord is for like gamer community, so is it like a web page, like everybody? I mean, kind of like a social media type thing. Coming into Cuddly here, I'm going to go ahead and get us at 200 knots. Gonna go ahead and put in the first notch of flaps. Okay, yeah, I'll have to go take a look and see. Sounds interesting. Alright, put the spoilers back in. We're good on our speed at this point. We are coming up on 2,000. Working our way in toward Cuddly. Kind of took a nicer, less drastic route in there rather than getting up to Hidno and then taking a hard ride. It's kind of smoothing out the approach, which is nice. Zoom in a little bit more here so we can see what we're looking at. Cabin crew, prepare for landing is absolutely right. Yes, sir. Nice direct headwind, so... Well, and our clouds just disappeared. That was cool. Wow. Live weather for you, I guess. Holy cow, he is banking hard right.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, you are 13 miles southeast of Nassau. Contact NASA Tower on 119.5 when inbound on the approach.
19.5, 6 Bravo Papa. Good day. Nassau Tower, Cessna November 316, Bravo Papa is at 2,000 feet.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa Nassau Tower. Altimeter 29.9er, wind 039er at 9er. Cleared on a runway 32 approach.
Cleared Rnav runway 32 approach, 6 Bravo Papa. The passengers aren't getting sick at this point with these hard turns that we're making, but hey, just following the path, I guess. All right, we are lined up pretty much now some straight final, so I'm going to go ahead and drop us down to about 175 knots. Second notch of flaps is in. Got the runway straight ahead. Go ahead and drop the gear. Landing lights are on. Third notch of flaps in as well.
Jetlinks 312, turn next taxiway.
Does sound like we had somebody up there. I got called off of an approach the couple nights ago because the one in front of us did not get off the runway quick enough. And that was fun. So, nah, that's okay, Fly. Not bothering me one bit. Get our clearance to land here in a minute, and then I'll take it off of the autopilot and auto throttle, and we'll bring it in. Drop us to about 155 knots here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the auto throttle or autopilot so that I can go ahead and start bringing us down just a little bit more. Still waiting on that landing clearance.
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, wind 039er at 9er.
All I had to do was say it.
Runway 32.
Cleared to land, runway 32, 6 Bravo Papa. There we go. All right. Auto throttle is off. I've got it now. Still going to try and keep it somewhere around 150. power. Flaps are full, gears down, lights are on. Pushing us to the right, kind of bring it back here. All right, hold a little bit. Oh, we're stuttering. Don't crash. Computer, not the plane. A bit high. Come down some. Glide slope's coming back up. 150 knots, looking good. Power is down to idle. Rudder to hold that crosswind. Down. First thruster's in. Whoa, a little squirrely. Spoilers are up. Get off the runway right here. So right here. Get off the runway and
Cessna 6 Bravo Papa, contact ground on 121.7.
217, 6 Bravo Papa. Nassau ground, Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa requesting taxi to GA parking.
Cessna November 316 Bravo Papa taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha cross runway tree 2.
Taxi to GA parking using taxiway Alpha cross runway 32, 6 Bravo Papa. That sounds like it's going to have us literally turn around and go the opposite direction. We may choose our own parking. Let's see. Pull up the taxi ribbon and just see where that wants us to go. No? Okay. Wants us to go that way. All right. Flaps are up. Taxi lights are on. Drift King. You know it, man. Yeah, without the flight improvement mod a couple of nights ago, well, it would have been a couple of days ago when the Sim Update 10 came out, I thought I went ahead and flew it without the flight improvement mod, and the nose gear, the handling with the nose wheel is insane how horrible it is. And literally when you would land, as soon as the nose wheel touches the ground, the thing would just be squirrely all over the place. Now, that time that was me because I still had some rudder in holding the crosswind when the nose wheel touched, so that's why it got as squirrely as it did. But I think this is going to have us cross back over to the runway. That's interesting. Tell you what, I think we're just going to go... Oh, the GA parking's all the way down there. I see it. We're going to go park right over here, because I need to get this thing shut down and pick up the kiddo from school. So we're going to pull up here and drop our passengers off at this lovely little FBO terminal, whatever it is. We'll just pull right up in front of it. Plane's on the ground, the pilot is alive, successful landing. Absolutely 100%. Any landing you walk away from is a good one. Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch the landings in the other streams, because they, like I said, the approaches, terrible. The landings, not too shabby at all. So, go ahead and hit the parking brake there. Let's go up top and shut down all of our lights. Kill our panel lights. Turn off the emergency lights. Let's come down here. Turn off the ELT. Pitot ice is off. Thing looks good there. Let's go ahead and shut the engines down. Okay. Go up here and shut off the generators. Close that bus tie. And hit the battery. And this flight is in the books. I have a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and load the replay and just watch that from outside real quick. The flight in here, and then let's fast forward it to just before landing. Side here. Yeah, the gear gonna take a minute to come down. Turn off follow mode so I can get ahead of it. Whoa. That's what I thought. Need the drone to move faster than the plane. Not happening. Actually, yeah, I think we're ahead of him now. Yep, there we are. Okay. Alright, we'll watch it from about right here. Because I think I touched down right in this area here. Alright. Oh, please come down, gear. Make it realistic. I need to find a better replay tool. This isn't, yeah, I need two. Let's back it up. And then I'm going to pause it and then see if that gives time for the gear to come down like they should. Looks like, are they coming down? There we go. Okay. Now let's watch them come in. Now they've gone away, but they should come back. There they are. Okay, here we go. I flared just a tiny bit too early. I've done that all day. I think I'm going to beat that. That was just as good as all the other ones. I am happy with every single landing today. That's awesome when the replay tool picks up the reverse thrusters and the spoilers and everything like that. That's awesome. It wasn't too terribly far off on the ground like it felt like from the cockpit. It did hug the right side just a little bit, but it wasn't horrible. Get a static shot here of it. Oh, it didn't quite go far enough. I'm obsessed with the replay tools. Well, I'm crabbing just a little bit, apparently. I was working a little bit of a crosswind, but not horrible. I may have just come in a little sideways like that. And that's what rolled me to the right there. Yeah, that might have been it. Okay. Yeah, from that angle, it was a little more squirrely. Still not bad. I will take it for sure. Get a close-up of our pilot and co-pilot here as they roll by. One of the other things I like watching on YouTube are the guys that make the cinematic ones. I started trying to do that, and then I realized the amount of work and effort it takes to try and make those as good as some of the ones that are already out there. I just enjoy flying in the simulator more. I think those guys are more into it for like the filmmaking aspect of it, and I don't have those skills, and so I thought, you know, my time's better spent just flying in the simulator. I'd get a lot more out of it at that point. So, all right, I'm gonna call that success for today. So, thank you, Fly W4R. Real quick, if you're still on, what is your what's your name mean? Fly W4R. I'm curious now. I subscribed and hopefully will join you for your... Absolutely. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Thanks for the subscription. And yeah, absolutely. Now that you're subscribed, hopefully you should get notified every time I go live. I don't necessarily go live every single day, but you know, at least a few times a week. So yeah, hopefully you can join some more. It's been fun talking with you. Sorry, what did you... Oh, I was just asking about exactly what your name means. The Fly W4R. I was curious, maybe the 4R means runway 4 right, possibly? Because I didn't want to just call you Fly if, you know, the W4R was a, you know, integral part of your... Oh, Fly War. Okay, I got you. Because I play War Thunder. Ooh, I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what War Thunder is. Okay, Fly War. Gotcha. Now I know what to call you. I won't just call you Fly anymore. Fly War, and it's War Thunder. Huh, I'll have to check that out. Look it up and see. That's just what I need is another another game or flight simulator. All right. Thanks again, man, for stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. And thanks for anybody that stopped in, and we'll see you next time.
7 tries, every night's a gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. 7 different ways of